Aisha today at 16:45 KSA time. Then we'll have a workshop by our beloved Sir Murli Krishnan. Then we'll have an extempo session which is going to be conducted by Mindmaster Umer. Then we'll have the knowledge check session which is going to be conducted by Bala Subramaniam sir. Then there will be the evaluation session which is going to be conducted by lead evaluator Mindmaster Anaga. Then I'll be giving the closing remarks. Prepare yourself to be challenged, excited, and inspired. And before I hand over to Mindmaster Kirtana, our star of the day, who will outline the day's events, I want to say once more on behalf of the Mind Guru organization, it's wonderful to see so many of you here. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Today, as we all know, is World Happiness Day. I Being happy and making others happy is a fantabulous phenomenon. I welcome you all to a new, joyful, and happy session of Mind Guru. First of all, we have the recap session. I invite Mindmaster Anagha to conduct the recap session of the last session. She is studying in grade 6. Her ambition is to become a doctor. Her hobby is reading. Mindmaster Anagha, I invite you to the stage.
Thank you, my master Kirtana. So, I am going to recap the yesterday's session. Call to order by Bala Ankar, and from 4:30 to 4:35. Opening remarks by Mana Philip from 4:35 to 4:40. Star of the day, Shamita Rajashekar introduced the speech session. Then the speech session was conducted by Krishnendu Viju. Then we had Master of the Art Extempo speech by Murli Ankar. Then we had Extempo session by Anakha. Then we had the knowledge check by Bala Ankar. Then we had the evaluation section by Mindmaster Umer. Then the closing remarks by Mana Philip. Thank you.
Next, we have the speech session. I invite our speech conductor, Mindmaster Aisha. She is studying in grade 8 in International Indian School, Al Jubair. Her hobbies are reading, painting, and crocheting. She also loves to sing and aspires to become a singer. Mindmaster Aisha, I invite you to the stage.
Thank you, Mindmaster Krishnendu, Kirtana, for that wonderful introduction. Good evening, fellow Mindmasters, Bala sir and Mulli sir. I am Aisha and I'm today's speech conductor. So each speaker will speak for a minimum of 3 minutes and 30 seconds and a maximum of 6 minutes and 30 seconds. The timer, Mindmaster Krishnendu, will be keeping the track of time, except for her speech, because she's a speaker, and I hope Bala sir will keep the time.
Sure.
Sir?
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, noted, Mindmaster Aisha.
Okay. So our first speaker is Mindmaster Krishnendu. She's studying in 9th grade. Her ambition is to be a fashion designer. She loves to sing and draw. Please help me welcome Mindmaster Krishnendu to stage.
Before anything else, preparation is the key to success, said Alexander Graham Bell, who invented telephone.
Good evening, Mind Masters and Mind Gurus. I am Krishnendu Viju. I have selected the track Goals. Module is Plans, and my topic today is the importance of planning in our life. Planning is essential in our day-to-day life. Even for the smallest activity in our day, we need planning. Planning helps us to organize our activities properly and helps us to successfully achieve our goals. Planning should be done very thoughtfully. We should know all the important aspects of planning. First, a plan should be simple. We should understand what our plan is. Second, our plan should have definite objectives. We should know what we are planning about. Third, we should always stick to the plan. The plan should be stable. Then, a plan should be flexible. It should cover every nooks and corners of our objectives. It should provide alternatives for us. Finally, a plan should be practicable. If we make a plan and we fail to execute it, we will not be successful. These 5 elements will make a plan complete. A simple example of planning I have observed in my daily life is my mother cooking in the kitchen. Do you know how my mother cooks in the kitchen? Every day she has to plan the menu for the family. Often she asks us, what do you want for breakfast or lunch? As part of her planning, she has to make sure the availability of vegetables and other items for cooking. She has to do good planning for the week when she goes out for shopping to the vegetable market. This way she organizes her day and week. Along with house chores, she has to do good planning for online teaching and helping us with our studies. Her good organization and planning skills makes us comfortable in studying at our home. Another example of planning is we students preparing for examinations. First of all, we get a timetable. Then according to the timetable, we make our own plannings to study. We put extra time efforts for those chapters which are difficult. Through our good planning and commitment, we succeed in our examinations. Let me share with you my own experience when I involved myself in planning. As the public relations manager of MindGuru, I shall invite other students to join the program. The first step of my plan is to target some of my classmates. Then I will call them and give them short introductions about MindGuru and how it's beneficial in my learnings. Then I will arrange a Zoom or Google Meet to give them a detailed picture about MindGuru. I will also share the PDF which has the details about MindGuru. This will help their parents also understand about MindGuru programs. Finally, if they are interested, I will invite them as guests and provide them the agenda and meeting. My success is totally dependent on how well I prepare my planning and execute it with my convincing power. Planning is the foundation which holds our decisions upright. Without proper planning, whatever we decide will just remain as decisions. Acting without planning is also hasty. Planning is the fundamental block of our decisions or actions. The reason why most people never reach their goals is that they don't define them or ever seriously consider them as believable or achievable. Winners can always tell you where they are going and what they plan to do along the way. Surely we will climb the small steps of success in every phase of our life. Dear friends, let us make it a good habit to make planning in our day-to-day life. Setting a goal is not the main thing. It is how we will go about achieving it and staying with that plan. Let me conclude my speech with a famous quote by the founding father of the United States, Benjamin Franklin. By failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail. Thank you.
Brilliant work, Mindmaster Krishnendu. I congratulate you. Now, our next speaker is Mindmaster Anagha. She's a 6th grader at School Al Noor International Indian School. Her ambition is to be a doctor, and her hobbies are reading and creating creative writes. Please help me welcome my Master Anaka to the stage.
Thank you, Mind Master Aisha. Good evening, everyone. I am Mind Master Anaga, and today I am here to speak about the topic importance of physical activity in life from Track Health module Physical Activity. Yoga is one of the most oldest form of exercise. Yoga originating in India or somewhere nearby, it is one of the oldest recorded forms of exercise. It is practiced from 3300 BC. Physical activity can improve our health and reduce the risk of life. Reduce the risk of developing several diseases like diabetes, cancer, heart disease, etc. Physical activity can have immediate and long term health benefits. Most importantly, regular activity can improve our quality of life. Some of the examples of physical activities are going for a walk or run, doing household chores, taking stairs instead of elevators, playing at park, doing indoor exercises like swimming or yoga. We have faced many consequences and benefits while doing physical activities. From that, we can understand that there are many advantages and disadvantages of doing physical activities. So, let's see some of the advantages of physical activities. It helps us reduce our weight, it helps us reduce our health risk, it increases our chances of living longer, it strengthens our bones and muscles, etc. So, let's see some of the disadvantages of doing physical activities. Some of the disadvantages of physical activities are it exercise can cause pain, exercise can cause stress and sometimes be stressful, and effect of putting our body under high extreme stress by doing high level exercise can cause premature aging, etc. We have seen many advantages and disadvantages of doing physical activities. Now let's see people who should try avoiding doing exercises. People who are having heart disease, kidney disease, or are being treated for cancer or have completed cancer treatment should try avoiding physical activities. So, we have seen the advantages, disadvantages, and people who should try avoiding physical activities. But I say, try doing exercise for at least 1 hour. Exercise not only changes our body, it also changes our mind, mood, and attitude. Thank you and have a nice day.
Excellent, Mind Master Anaka. I appreciate you. Now, please help me welcome the next speaker, Mind Master Mrinmay. She's an 8th grader. She loves to dance. She also plays the guitar very well, and she loves to listen to music. Please help me welcome Mind Master Mrinmay to the stage.
Thank you, Mind Master Aisha. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Exercise not only changes our body, it also changes our mind, our attitude, and our mood. Respected Mind Guru Murli Uncle Bala Uncle, and my dear fellow Mind Masters, a very scintillating evening to one and all. Myself Mrinmay Mahulkar, and today I'm here to talk on benefits of physical activities from the track health. We have all heard the common phrase, health is wealth. And in this pandemic situation, we realized how true it is, didn't we? But what does the word health really mean? It implies the idea of being well. A fit or healthy person is the one who can function well both physically and mentally. And for that, we need physical activities. Physical activities is an important step you can take towards to increase your health and way of living life. Regular physical activities prevents or delays many health issues. It makes you look and feel better. Thus, both now and in the future, there are many benefits of it, such as it reduces the risk of having a heart attack, it manages your weight and blood cholesterol level, and reduces your blood pressure. It gives you stronger bones, muscles, joints, and prevents from osteoporosis. It blocks all the negative thoughts coming to mind and gives out a positive energy. Many studies have declared that physical activities also helps in depression. Exercising with others is a great opportunity for increasing social contacts. Increased fitness lifts up your mood and sleeping pattern. Physical activities may also change the level of chemical in your brain, such as serotonin, endorphins, and stress hormones. Many people may be aware of it, but still think that physical activities are hard and tiring exercises. But actually, it is quite easy. You can start out by walking or cycling to reach nearby places instead of using the car. You can play your favorite games or sports or dance to your favorite music, as it is one of the best physical exercises. To keep healthy and fit, you can even do some yoga asanas. Even the simplest yoga asanas can give us a lot of health benefits, such as flexibility, boost immunity, and burn calories. So, we should give at least 30 minutes of our day to yoga, to physical activities. So, in the conclusion, I would like to say, as told by Dalai Lama, happiness is the highest form of health. Happiness will only come to you when you're happy, when you're healthy and fit. Thank you.
Wow, that was a great performance, Mindmaster Mrinmay. Now, our next speaker, Mindmaster Shamita. She's a ninth grader who aims to achieve her goals in a successful way. She works hard to reach greater heights. Please help me welcome Mindmaster Shamita to the stage.
Am I audible?
Yes.
When you talk, you're only repeating what you already know. But if you listen, you're going to learn something new. Respected Murli sir, Bala sir, and all my dear fellow mind masters. Good evening to one and all.
Good evening.
I have chosen the track self-development and the module add a new skill set. Today, I'm going to speak on the topic express a new skill to the world. From the topic, you would have guessed that what I am going to speak on. We all are taught to speak, but we aren't taught to listen. To me, listening is the biggest gift that anyone can share with. It's a precious act of sharing our time soulfully for the understanding of another. A couple of weeks ago, listening skill activity was conducted in my school. In that test, I wasn't able to give my best. When I analyzed what my mistake was, I came to know that if I would have listened carefully, then I would have performed better. From that day, I wanted to practice the art of listening. When I started solving my activity sheets, I explored many aspects of listening. There are mainly two aspects. They are one who is listening and one who is speaking. Recently, an evaluation contest was held and I secured the first place. At that particular moment, I felt that I have implemented what I have learned. That is, For evaluating a speaker, we should have a good listening. After this incident, I started listening carefully to what others spoke. At times, I wanted to improve my ability to listen. My parents advised me the best way to develop my listening skills. That is, they instructed me to do meditation. I was able to concentrate more. Indirectly, I improved my listening skills. God gave us one mouth and two ears. Thus, we should listen twice as much as we talk. I would like to conclude by saying that we all should develop the art of listening. We all should give each other the opportunity to speak as well as the opportunity to listen. One of the most sincere forms of respect is actually listening to what another has to say. Thank you for spending your precious time listening to me.
Mind-blowing performance, my Master Shamita. I congratulate you. Now, I thank and congratulate all the Mind Masters who spoke today in the speech session. And today, for the evaluation, I welcome my Bala sir and Murli sir.
Thank you, my Master Aisha, for this wonderful opportunity to evaluate such a powerful speeches which we have just delivered, and I will take the opportunity of evaluating Mind Master Krishnendu and Mind Master Anaga, and then I will hand it over back to you. I think Mind Master Shamita and Mind Master Murli sir will be doing it out. So wonderful. So to start with, Mind Master Krishnendu, great. The importance of planning and extensive, how you got inspired about planning. That was very detailedly laid out to the members to understand what inspires you to plan well and how you got to know the importance of planning on a day-to-day basis. That was very clearly laid out to the listeners. So that was a great thing to start off with. And also you beautifully crafted in, like, how you started involving your actions. First, you got inspiration. There was an inspiring personality in your own midst, your mother, how it started influencing on your own responsibilities. So that's a great thing. First, you get inspired. Then how you schedule it out on your own responsibility. That is the bottom line of anything. And then you started conveying and you started inspiring your fellow mind masters as well, saying that, like, for doing anything and everything in life, planning is the key thing. But before we get into the next set of things, there are certain things which I wanted to understand from you. So you have chosen the path. So your track and path, can you repeat one more time, Mind Master Krishnendu?
Track, goals, and module plans.
Wonderful.
Topic,
Track.
importance of plan.
Wonderful. So with that in perspective, so this is your level first speech, right? Fundamentals. So what you can add more is, like, what is the research work? See, when we say fundamentals, so it's trying to understand, it's trying to listen, it's trying to read, it's trying to learn. So part of the inspiring part is, like, you understood a lot of aspects from your mother, how plan get into and how does she do, how you have seen her going through that process. That was really wonderful. But along with that aspect of it, was there any other research or any other books, any other articles in Google? Was there anything which you worked in, Mind Master Krishnendu?
Yeah, yes, sir. I Googled the elements of planning, like what is essential for planning. And then I asked my father, and he is an excellent speech maker for me. So
Wonderful.
I asked him what all is involved, and he gave me some idea, and I made it.
That's wonderful. That's a great lesson for all the other mind masters, and even to people like even the grown-ups. The message is, when you prepare a craft, so the craft was very well rendered, because that's what I was listening. When your speech was getting rendered out, it had a very clear flow and pattern. It was not just a plain informative message. It had an inspiration part, and then you explained about the importance and the nuances of that particular element. Like, you remember last time we were discussing about getting to more and more about the specifics. So that was also there. And also there was a message for everyone to take back home. And the beauty is, now I'm understanding that you went to people, you went and discussed with a person, like, your personal mentor, like, father. So you got in those insights. So that's a great message, which I recommend all the other mind masters also to do. Like, try to understand, try to research in more and more. It's not like, we know all the aspects of it. That's not how it works. So once you get in with people, you get broader idea. Your small message becomes a perfect package. So wonderful, Mind Master Krishnendu. You have done your first task as the fundamentals part. You have understood the concept of it. Now, what is the next level?
Level 2, finding my way.
Finding my way. That's wonderful. That's more important now. So now you understood the broader picture of it. Now you have to understood, out of this planning, what is the particular approach of planning works well for you. Approach which works for your inspiring personalities, like your mother, your father, may work for you, may not work for you. So that is what you should be trying to work out, going for your next level. A level or an approach in planning which is going to help. And it's not always like, one stitch works for all. That may not work. For one case, maybe a proper approach may work. Another case, there might be a different scenario. All the very best. All in all, it was a great, inspiring speech given by you, Mind Master Krishnendu. Great going. All the very best.
Thank you, sir.
Wonderful. Next, I would take the opportunity to invite Mind Master Anaga for choosing the track health and physical activity. Yet another lot of information. Mind Master Anaga. So it was a lot of information, put it in a very beautiful way. As they say, like, when you're getting into certain things, especially when you're trying to get into an, health aspects, as always, they say, it's always good to know what you should do. And more important, it's always good to know what you should not do. So you give both the sectors of the same aspect of it. Who should not be doing an exercise? That's also far more important. Like, we see people tend to overdo certain things when you're not well, when you should take a pause, when you should take a break. Those aspects were brought into the perspective. That was a wonderful start, Mind Master Anaga. And also you brought into the foray, what is that particular physical activity which you recommended, which you practice, which you adopt, bringing about yoga, and then giving the insights about how old does that particular aspect of physical activity belongs to. Those were all beautiful facets, Mind Master Anaga. So Mind Master Anaga, if I may ask you these questions. So these informations, so what were the resource, or what were the source of this informations, Mind Master Anaga?
I searched in Google mostly.
Wonderful.
And I just turned it into some of my words.
Wonderful. Great, Mind Master Anaga. That's always a great art of crafting it out. Taking the facts and putting into your own style always will be a great, style of drafting a speech. That's a very good thought process, Mind Master Anaga. And also along with that, if you approach some mentors, you have plenty of mentors in here, right? If you can just get in touch with them, how Mind Master Krishnendu said, she approached her father, how he helped in her crafting of the speech part of it, that would have enhanced it. And along with that, I was looking for what is that Mind Master Anaga doing with this. This is your track, right? You are preparing your fundamentals to get your physical activity enhanced. Correct? So as part of it, I understood that you're doing it. But when you're communicating it, that part I was waiting for it, but somehow it was flashed in some parts of it. But if you had emphasized it more, it would have been even better, Mind Master Anaga. You got what I'm trying to say, Mind Master Anaga?
Yes, sir.
Because it had very rich information. But along with that information in Mind Master, Mind Guru, what we are looking for is what is that Mind Master Anaga is going to do with this information, and how this information can be helpful for the other Mind Masters. That was one area where I felt I was like, okay, maybe it would have been there, it would have been even wonderful, but there was rich amount of informations which were put into the table by you, Mind Master Anaga. Great start. All the best. Looking forward for your level 2, that is finding your way in 5 levels to mastery in track health. All the very best, Mind Master Anaga.
Thank you, sir.
Most welcome. With that note, once again, I thank Mind Master Aisha for giving me this opportunity to evaluate 2 of the most inspiring speakers for the evening. Thank you, and back to you, Mind Master Aisha.
Yes, sir. Now I invite Murli sir for the next 2 evaluations.
Good evening, Mind Masters. General Evaluator or Lead Evaluator, Mind Master Aisha. Mr. Bala, all other Mind
Yes, sir.
Masters. Good evening once again. And Mind Master Mrinmay in particular. Where are you, Mind Master Mrinmay?
Yes,
I
sir,
don't
I'm
see you
here.
here. Great, great, great. Good evening.
Good
So
evening,
first
sir.
of all, let me congratulate you for completing your level 1 in a grand style. Rich of information. Congratulations to you. That's indeed a great step. So every, 1,000-mile journey of 1,000 miles start with a single step. That's what we say. And this is your first step towards that long journey. Congratulations for that. And I'm so happy that you did it in a grand style. Marvelous way of putting things together and sending it across to all the Mind Masters here. You started off with a topic on, about the benefits of physical activities. The chosen track was health, and you selected the module physical activity, and it was very clear. And as Bala Engel mentioned for Mind Master Anaga, it was full of information. It was very rich in terms of information. You touched upon various quotes such as, health is wealth, then happiness is the highest form of health, and all those things. As we say that, those kind of quotes always helps us to convey the message in a much greater level. So it has indeed helped all of us to understand what you want to speak. And what I like the most is the list of things, list of benefits. Your topic itself was benefits of physical activities. So I think that you focus more on the benefits. And I see a rich list here, reducing the risk of, heart failures, BP, cholesterol. Then regarding stress, then you moved on to various other aspects as well, not physical, but that was really great, right? In terms of blocking the negative thoughts, depression, increasing the social contacts. When you go and, talk to your friends, you increasing your social contacts. Now, if you really look, those are all different dimensions, going forward and getting in touch with people. Then you talked about the changes in the hormone levels and things like that. So it was richly filled with a lot of information in that speech. Great research that you have done. To all the Mind Masters, my message is, when we evaluate speeches, most of the comments that we have is applicable to all. Like Bala Engel was mentioning about, what is your role in that particular aspect, or what is your role in that particular topic, what you learned, that's what, when we say a holistic transformation happens only when you are part of it. Even though we have different tracks, different modules and things like that, the real transformation happens when you are part of it. So in that aspect, when I look at your speech, what I missed is how you are part of the process. So and it's a message for all the Mind Masters that what we want is, when you come up with your speech and, when you develop those things, put yourself in the center. How did it help you? What is that, this particular topic or this particular track has to offer to you? If I would have had you in that process, it would have been a much better one. But as a speech, thoroughly enjoyed the rich content that you have. Congratulations to you in your journey forward with Mind Guru and the transformation process. So all the best, Mind Master Mrinmay, for that great attempt. and wish you all the very best for the next level, level 2. And what is level 2?
Finding my way.
Exactly, finding your way. And now when you are able to, why we have this level 1 and level 2 is, when you come across level 1, you would have, related yourself with that particular, any particular aspect in that particular track, right? So try to find out what is in it for you, and then go to level 2, so that you'll be able to demonstrate in a much better way, convey your experience in a much better way to all the other mind masters. Wish you all the very best, Mind Master Mrinmay,
Thank you,
in your
sir.
journey forward. And with that note, let me move on to Mind Master Shamida. Mind Master Shamida, congratulations again for you as well for completing level 1. A round of applause to all those who have completed level 1s today.
Thank you,
Hats
sir.
off to you for selecting the topic. We have so many tracks. We have so many modules. Within the modules, you have selected self-development and skills. Okay, when we talk about skills, it's very rarely that we see someone selecting a skill called listening. It is always an underrated skill. We talk about various skills, and people are there to select and enhance various different skills, but never I have seen a person giving more focus towards listening. Congratulations to you for selecting that, and that itself is a message for all of us that we must all start to think out of the box. Listening is a classic skill that we must all inculcate within ourselves, enhance that skill. And you started off your speech, great speech altogether, even though it's not like you collected some information and you gave the information. It was a speech. It was a perfect speech, I would say. And you started off with the quote telling that when you talk, you're only repeating, and when you are listening, you are learning new things, great things to connect. And it's a message to other mind masters also. When you prepare and deliver a speech, it has to be a speech. And it's not like collecting information and coming here and reading it. It has to be a speech. And when you've gone through the process, it automatically comes from within you. And when it comes from within you, and that is what makes it more genuine, and that is what makes all other mind masters to accept that particular information that is going to them. And I'm happy that Mind Master Shamida is able to do that, explaining things about how she learned, and she brought in 2 examples. One, how she felt she didn't do well in the school when there was a competition, and then she applied certain learnings about listening, and then she was able to apply those learnings in the evaluation contest. And that's how she has she is showing a kind of transformation within that particular skill set, quoting 2 different examples, and that shows how she was part of it. Great journey altogether, Mind Master Shamida, and you are able to manage to put it in a nice way to all of us, and we are all convinced that you have gone through it. More than that, we hats off to you for selecting this particular skill set, because you made it more clear to all of us that listening is indeed a one key skill that we must all enhance or inculcate within ourselves. Now, see, there are so many areas that we can improve. Always there is room for improvement. In that aspect, if I would say that you could have made it a bit more longer. I felt that it got because we very well have 4 to 6 minutes time, right? So this is a message to all the mind masters. Try to utilize that full time available for you, so that the more you speak, the more you become what you call a better communicator in terms of communication. The more you are able to inspire other mind masters in terms of the topic that we are speaking. So I would have more happy if it was a bit more longer, I would say. And the second aspect is, you could have touched about the details about how listening skills can enhance in a day-to-day life. Like, for example, listening to a teacher, how important it is when you're listening to a teacher. Your parent is telling something to you, how important it is for me when I listen to my parent. My friend is talking to me, how can I give my full undivided attention to my friend? So if you could have bring those things which can help to you in a regular day-to-day life, that would have helped to enhance it in a different level, your speech. But all said and done, improvements are always there. Even if you improve all these things and come next time, we will still have certain things to improve. But the important thing is, one, you started the journey. Congratulations. Point number two, you selected a topic which people will generally tend to overlook, and a great speech. Congratulations, and wish you all the very best for the future levels, level 2, 3, 4. And I'm sure that we are going to see a great transformation in the leader, in the communicator, in the speaker, in you, Mind Master Shamita. All the best. And with that note, thank you, Mind Master Aisha, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Back to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Bala sir and Mulli sir, for the wonderful evaluation for the speakers who spoke today in the session. With this, I conclude the speech session. Thank you so much. Over to you, Mind Master Kirtana.
Next, we have a workshop on the track Relationship by Murali sir. Murali Krishnan sir is an engineer by profession and a distinguished Toastmaster. He is a certified NLP practitioner, life coach, and maintenance and reliability professional. He is the founder director of Mind Academy and the sponsor of Mind Academy's Toastmasters Club. Currently, he is serving as the Division D Programming Quality Director in Toastmasters. Sir, I invite you to the stage.
Sir, you are on mute.
Sir, your audio
Mute.
Okay now?
Yes, sir.
Great.
Yes, sir.
Sorry for that. Okay. Is okay now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Great.
sir. It's okay.
Today, what we are going to do is to have a workshop on topic relationship. So all wanted this workshop, right? On relationship. Let's see how important this is for all of us, relationship. And what is relationship all about? We have a track on this, right? Relationship. And what are all the different modules that we have?
Family,
Family.
friends,
Hmm?
then teachers, good or bad influencer,
Good or bad influencer. Then
Teamwork.
teamwork. Then
Six of them.
done. We said all 6. Family.
yes, sir. Yes,
Friends.
family, friends, teacher, nature, good or bad influencers, teamwork.
Great. A round of applause to all of you. So those are the 6 modules that we have in track relationship. So what we are trying to do today is to bring you the importance of relationship, which touches upon all the 6 tracks. But before we go there, I want all of you to please go to, I'll play a video for you. Please see this video. And after that, we can go to the remaining part of the. 1 second. Okay, great. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sometimes a man will come up to me and say,
Is it audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great.
"It is so hard to handle how my wife speaks to me. So harsh, so insensitive." And sometimes a lady will come up to me and say, "It is so difficult to tolerate the idiosyncrasies of my husband, picking up the nose or biting of the nails." At other times, grown-ups will come to me and tell me how it is extremely difficult to handle the unsophisticated behavior of their simple parents in an urban setting, social gatherings, parties. And at other times, parents will come up to me and tell me that they feel so pained by how their children control every aspect of their lives. I'm sure many of you watching this video are relating to what I'm trying to say. When people come to me and talk to me about these kind of issues in relationships, I tell them a story. There was a group of porcupines who lived in a forest on the outskirts of a small town. One year, during the winter, temperatures dropped 20 degrees below zero, minus 20 degrees Celsius. All of the porcupines gathered together to discuss ways, to discuss a strategy to survive the winter. As they came together, they realized the temperatures of their bodies put together had created a warmth. They felt hopeful that they can now survive this cold winter. There was a problem, however. Porcupines have these sharp, poking quills, and each porcupine can have as many as 30,000 quills. Whilst they were all together, each of their quills were poking someone else in the group. One of the porcupines just couldn't handle this. He said, "I cannot tolerate this any longer," and left the group. As this porcupine was now alone in the forest, reality dawned upon him that he cannot tolerate this cold winter alone. He had a choice. Be uncomfortable together, tolerating some of the sharp poking of the quills of the other porcupines, but survive the winter based on the warmth, or to be alone and comfortable and die out of the cold, frigid winter. The porcupine returned back to the group, and as he entered and huddled into the group, he experienced the warmth and survived the winter. In our relationships as well, there's always a package deal. We can experience the warmth of meaningful, loving relationships. But that warmth of love comes with another dimension as well. The sharp poking of the quills, digging of the nose, insensitive speech, unsophisticated behavior. Next time, when you're being poked by the sharp quills of your spouse, your parent, your siblings, your colleagues, or your friends, just remember the story of the porcupines and make your choice. You can either get the warmth of love and will have to tolerate some poking of the quills, or you can comfortably be alone by yourself and miss out on the most amazing deep bondings and the warmth of love. The choice is always yours.
So you saw that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How was it?
It was wonderful.
What's the message
That's
there?
it.
You have to tolerate.
Tolerate the poking of the quills.
Uh,
You should tolerate some poking quills.
You have to tolerate the poking quills, right? Of whom?
of our family or
Of our
friends.
family, of our friends, of our teachers, of the people around us, who we are all related to. When you say relate, even friends, they are relatives, right? We are all related to our friends, teachers, parents, nature, good and bad influences, the people who are working in our team, right? So do you think that
Yes,
it's all
yes.
related to all these 6 modules that we are talking about?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. So that's the basic fundamental thing. Yeah. Any, you want to add something, Mind Master Renaga?
No, sir.
Okay. So that's a basic fundamental thing about any relationship. But the key here is when we are in relationship with anyone around us, there are certain things that drives our relationship, right? There are certain priorities that we have. 1 second, let me. Can you see the screen?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Second,
Yes, sir.
some issue with my mouse here.
We can very well see the screen, sir.
But there is some issue with my mouse. 1 second, Bala.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Now okay.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
these are all the different people who are all around us. Like we have teachers, parents, our colleagues, friends. But what is more important is for all of us to understand the priorities of our relationship. What is more important in our relationship, whether it's our friends, so parents, with our teachers, understand that the priorities are different. The priority that we have with our parents is not the same priority that we have with teachers, right? The relationship is not the same. The relationship with a teacher is different from the relationship of our parent, which is totally different from the relationship with our friends, which is totally different from the relationship with our colleagues, or for that matter, anyone. So all relationships that we have with others has gotten certain set of priority activities or priority elements in that. So it's important for us to understand what is my priority. If me and Bala Angle, we are friends, we are certain priorities on which our friendship works, correct? So we must understand what our priorities are. And in that video that we saw, what is the priority there? What is the priority there? Who can answer that? In that video, no scope for you, Bala. What is the priority there? Mind Masters.
Sir, we have to accept all the difficulties in a particular relationship.
True, but what was the priority there for all those porcupines? There was something which was...
So their priority was to survive the winter.
Excellent, excellent. So that was the priority of that relationship between the porcupines. Their priority is to survive. So if you want to survive the winter, then you must be able to accept those uncomfortable feelings of poking of the quills, right? So in every relationship, there are these survival priority aspects around which our whole relationship is built. Can we break our relationship with our parents just because they scold us?
No, sir.
No.
We wouldn't be able to survive without them.
Excellent. So, but what is the bigger intent? The bigger intent is to survive, right?
Yes,
Is to
sir.
survive, is to have a proper life, is to have a proper upbringing for all of us. So those are all the prime priorities. If those priorities are set, then anything below that are those quills. So if you know the priorities, any relationship, many times what happens is we don't understand those priorities. That is why even when they say, yeah, you did this wrong, when they say that you did this wrong, we start fighting with them, we start breaking the relationship, and then we move on. But if you know what is the priority in that particular relationship, then we will never do that, because we already know the priority is intact. You all agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Great.
Yes, sir.
So try to find out what is our, again, our relationship, there's different ways of relationship, right? Like parents, do we have a choice? Can we choose our parents? No, we can't, right?
No.
But what about friends?
We can choose.
We can
Yes,
choose.
can
What about your
choose.
colleagues?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
can
sir.
What about your teachers? To a
No.
greater extent, we can choose. Correct.
Yes, sir.
So relationship. So these are all relationships at different levels. So we are related to each one of them as a friend, as a student, as a son or a daughter. So we are all related to each other's, because of which the priority changes. So understand that priority with anyone around you. Then you'll be able to build a better relationship with everyone. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Great.
sir. Yes, sir.
Now let me take you to something which is more important. In any relationship, there will be so much of expectations, right? From friends we expect, from parents we expect, from our sisters and brothers we expect, from our colleagues we expect. But we must understand that, we cannot satisfy everybody's expectation. And also we cannot even satisfy one person's expectation all the time. Can we do that?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So there is something called want and need. Do you know what's the difference between want and need?
So
Want is what you need,
Is
what you
what we need.
expect,
the
and
want is,
need is what
something
you
that we need, but
Can't
have.
survive
Want
without.
is what you want and need is what you need, right?
depend on it. But need is
Need
something
is
that
what you can't survive
you
without.
have to
Need
get.
is what you can't survive without. Great, Christian, Mind Master Krishnendu. Need is the basic necessity. Okay? Need is basic necessity. But what is want? Wants come out of your desires. It's a wish list. You have heard the word called wish list. And that is never ending. Correct? There is no ending to it. Depends on different people will have different wants.
Okay, sir.
But needs, they are basic necessity. So any relationship, understand these needs and wants. People can expect anything from you. Not necessary that you will able to meet all their desires, all their wants. But of course, there are basic minimum needs for a relationship. But this, nobody can come and teach you or guide you on these needs. This is between two persons. Correct? Between your parent, between your friends, there are specific set of needs and there are specific set of wants. And now also there are two key aspects. One is materialistic and other is psychological. What is materialistic?
So
What is
material is
materialistic?
What you want physically.
Physically, exactly. What you want physically? Something in material, like something physical. And psychological is something internal feeling.
emotionally.
So somebody will be happy if you gift him a big car. Let's say you give him a big car. You gifted him a BMW car. Do you think that everybody will be happy getting that as a gift in equal terms? Not necessary. Not necessary. And do you think the same person will be so happy when you give this gift 10 times at different times, 10 separate times?
No, sir.
No, right? So there is certain aspects of materialistic elements attached to it. And there are certain aspects of psychological aspects attached to it. You can never control those psychological. You can, there's a saying that you can take the horse to the river, but you cannot make him drink the water. Correct? This is something psychological. So you can only make them, or you can only take care of the basic needs and not the wants. So try to make these kind of differentiations between the relationships. How can you make it, more meaningful relationship? So that is what matters in terms of a quality relationship. Being with them, being with the person, like for example, spending quality time with our friends, spending quality time with our parents. You feel, you need these times more and more often. You need those times, right? You feel like being with your friends, close ones. But come to the materialistic stuffs. Whenever we are about to get a new dress, let's say a new dress or a new car or something new, you are excited till you get that. Correct? What happens after you get that?
After a few, you'll be happy for a few days. Then after a
You will
few
be
days,
happy for a few days and
You
then
will
gone.
judge it.
You will like not use it anymore.
You will not
You
use
will
it
judge
anymore.
it.
So there is no end to it. But meaningful relationships are not like that. A close friend of yours, a genuine friend of yours, you wanted to spend more and more time with them, right? So understand those differences. So try to have more and more genuine friends. Try to have more and more true friends, true relationship, who you don't feel bored, who you want to spend more and more time with. So that's the basic difference between a need and want. And these are certain keywords which will help you to have a meaningful relationship, to have a true relationship. And what are they? Trust. Trust. You trust others. You trust your friends. You trust your teachers, right? Trust is a very important word, right? Care. You need to care for others. Care for our friends. Care for our relationship. Appreciate. Anybody would like to hear appreciation, right? Congratulations. When you say, you did a great job. Something you did and you say, oh, great job. Everybody would like to get appreciations. So these are keywords. Express yourself. Like for example, your mother made a good food this afternoon. After the lunch, you say thank you. The food was so nice. Appreciate and express what you feel. Many times what happens is like, we take it for granted. We think that if we don't say the food is bad, that means food is good. That's how we say, right? Whatever you feel, go and express. And then the most important thing is undivided attention. We have seen people, our guests coming to our home, we'll be busy on our phone. Have you noticed that? Many times when guests come to our home, we are busy on our phone. Or when you talk to friends, we are busy on phone. We must give them undivided attention if they are genuine friends, if they are genuine relations connected to you. Respect. We need to respect them. We need to be genuine with them. So these are all the key words, and this applies to all the tracks. It applies to our families, friends, teachers, our environment, all of them, the people who are working with our team, all of them. So these are the key words that defines our relationships. Now, see any relationship, if they are intact, you will see all of them in that relationship. You will see all these words intact in that relationship. That is why that relationship is quite strong. And then couple of quotes about relationship, and it matters a lot. A great relationship is about two things. First, appreciating the similarities. Yes, that's why you are friends, right? You appreciate your wavelength matches. That is why you have common things to talk, common subjects to speak. So you appreciate those similarities. But the most important thing is respecting the differences. Not necessary that for each, because we are all different human beings. We all are unique. We have different thought process. Not necessary that your friend thinks like you in each and everything in the world. Not necessary. So respect those differences. And this is what is missing in the world these days. We say we are intolerant to others' views. We must be tolerant. We must be respecting others' views. Of course, appreciate the similarities, but respect the differences. And second, the most important thing, treat others the way you want to be treated. If you want somebody else to treat you in a particular way, you will have to treat them in that way, right? You cannot have an indecent behavior with someone and then expect a decent behavior from them to you. Is it possible? Is it possible? Not possible. So treat others the way you want to be treated. And the most important thing that I love is use things, not people. Love people, not things. I think current world is moving in that direction. We started using people and loving things. New iPhone, we love a lot, right? New BMW X6, we love a lot. What about your friends? What about your colleagues? We use them or we love them?
Love them. Love them.
Nowadays, we are using them.
Eh?
I don't think I use like
Yeah, Mind Master Mir.
So nowadays, we are using them.
Nowadays, we using them, right? Stop using them and start loving them.
Yes, sir.
That's the message. So that is all about relationship. So the key message, if I may recap, the message is like, there will always be certain issues like the story in the porcupine. But what matters or what defines whether the relationship is intact, true or genuine is, have you set the priorities and are you able to adjust between ourselves, between those two relationships? If priorities are set, then it's going to be a great relationship, be it with your teachers, with your parents, with your friends, with your colleagues, anyone. So that is all about relationship. Any questions?
No, sir. No, sir.
Am I in masters?
So,
Yeah.
do you know about virtual friends? Like,
Virtual friends.
yes, pen pals, etc.
Uh,
The friends that you have not met in person, but you talk to, share your assignments and all.
correct.
So can those type of friends be really called as friends, or should there be any other term?
This is one big challenge. It's not about the term, whether we call them real friends. It's about, that is again, the priority plays a major role. That is where we can focus on the good influences and bad influences. Okay, we must understand, go deep. Now the problem, Mind Master Mano, what happens is, many a times the relationship becomes more strong when you know the second person much better. Correct? Why is it that our relationships are so strong with our parents, with our friends who are there from our school days? That happens because you know in and out of them. It's not superficial. Now, when you talk about this online friends, the issue is that many times we don't know them physically. We know them at a very superficial level, that too for a specific aspect. That is not how we develop our friendship, right? We develop our friendship means it is developed on a 360-degree angle. On different, we know if somebody is close to you, we know his ideology, we know his parents, we know his family, we know he's in and out in many things if he is so close to you, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, unfortunately, because of this online stuff and all, there are no chances for us to go to that level. So if you can't want to know, be a true friend, then it is important that we understand them in and out. Otherwise, what happens is, yes, he may be doing good to you. He may be, helping you to understand different things. He may be guiding you on certain aspects, but that remains only on the superficial level, or if not, if it is a deeper level only in a particular aspect. So it is for us to define who our close friend is, who our true friend is, who is our genuine friend.
So, and what about sometimes when you change your schools or leave the country, and you have some friends back in your old school, and you're you play with them virtually. So what about those type of friends?
Yeah, those type of friends, since you know them, there is every chance that you understand them better. Like, for example, I was a fortunate kid when I was in school. I completed my education in 12 schools, 12 institutions. So I had friends everywhere. My father was in a job where he has got transferred every 3 years. So I completed in 12 institutions. I have friends everywhere. I am in touch with them. So, but in those cases, the aspect that you're bringing, I know them well. I'm in touch with them. So, but I was not in, I haven't met them, quite a few number of them for quite a long time, but still I'm in touch through, Facebook or WhatsApp and things like, but all said and done, I know them well from that time. So I was part of their life for quite a long time. So when you are in a close friendship with someone, you are part of their life, right?
Yes, sir.
But that's not the case with online people. In online, who you haven't even met. I'm not telling that you cannot be a true friendship when you in online, but you must take that extra plane to understand different facets, understand different angle about that particular person. Maybe he's a true, genuine friend, but how do you know that? So I'm not outrightly telling that they are all not genuine, but then we must go beyond, there is an extra work to be done there to understand whether they are true or genuine. But this is a classic case, Mind Master Mano. Thanks for highlighting that. Those who are doing these projects on good influencer and bad influencers, bring those kind of topics. We can discuss and, dig deep into those subjects. It's a classic subject.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Any other questions? Was it helpful?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great. What was your one key learning? Tell me.
The priority of our relationships.
That's a key learning
Yeah.
for me. That we should not use
Yeah,
our
Mind
friends
Master.
and colleagues.
What is that, Mind Master Umair?
Sir, the key learning I learned here is that we should not use our friends and colleagues like their things. We should actually love them.
Great. We should not use them. Great. Yeah, Mind Master Christian, you were telling something.
Yes, sir. Today my key learning is understanding the priority of our relationships.
Understanding the priority of great. And this is something which I also learned very recently. Many times what happens with friends, we have kind of arguments, we have kind of difference of opinion which comes, and I've seen relationships getting spoiled or getting breakup just because of these kind of petty things, whereas the whole relationship is not built on those petty things. This is only one aspect which comes to us on a day-to-day basis, but what is the basis on which the whole relationship is built? Okay, can we have those kind of breakups in relationship with our parents just because they scold us, or just because they say that you are not doing right or you are not doing wrong, whatever it is? You can't, right? So understanding the priorities is very important. Great. Anyone else would like to add their learnings?
Sir, my key learning is the same as Mind Master Kirtana's.
Sir, I
Priority.
have a key learning.
What is that, Mind Master Umair? Thank you, Mind Master Aisha.
So we should. Sir, the second key learning was that a great relationship is about two things. The first is appreciating and the similarities, and the second is respecting the differences.
Great. Appreciating the similarities and respecting the differences. Appreciating the similarities we generally do, but what we don't do is respecting the differences. That is where the whole issue comes from. So we must learn to respect the differences as well. And there's a saying there, once you talk and you're not able to agree, so there's a famous saying, let us agree to disagree. Not necessary that we should have an agreement on everything else. Let us agree to disagree so that you can move forward in life. And when you have more of those moments, that is when, Mind Master Manav, you understand the other person better. So you know in and out of that person. Any other reflections? Good. If not, then back to you, star of the day, Mind Master Kirtana.
Next in line is the extempore session. I invite our extempore master, Mind Master Umair. He is studying in grade 6. His ambition is to become a robotic engineer, and a teacher for mentees. Mindmaster Umar, I invite you to the stage.
Thank you. Now we will start with the extempo session. The topic is smart work versus hard work. I repeat, the topic is smart work versus hard work. And the topic is to Mindmaster Mano Philip.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so last year, I think I was in 8th grade when we had our annual exams coming up. There was one of my friends, his name was Prem Pogari. So this guy, he used to work hard a lot. So at the day of the exam, he studied late up to like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. and he woke up early at 4 o'clock and started studying. Then when he came to the exam hall, he could not give his exams because I think he vomited and had some issues. So, and then I had one more friend, his name was Siddharth. So this guy, what he did was he studied, studied only for a few hours, but he took breaks, consistent breaks. So he studied smartly. So he could give his exams, and I think he had topped our class at the year. So this is what I wanted to say, that smart work always beats hard work. Even if you work hard a lot, if you're not like understanding the concept and you're just forcing your mind to take up all the topics in your brain, you just go blank when you are giving your exams. Thank you.
That was an excellent speech, Manu. Now moving on. The second topic is, who are the real leaders? I repeat, who are the real leaders? And this topic is for Krishnendu.
Good evening, dear Mind Masters and Mind Gurus. I'm Krishnendu Viju, and the topic given to me is, who are the real leaders? So, leaders are those who can lead other people, who can actually inspire other people. So, according to me, leaders are those, I said leaders are those who inspire us. For me, it's my mother who inspires me a lot. She is a woman made of iron, I should say. She has been through many struggles. She has been a housewife for a while and then a teacher. A teacher she is, and she also inspires a lot of students. She teaches them and she also maintains their behavior and also inspires them to be good people in our society. So the first person who inspires me to be a good person is my mother. Second, I would like to say is my grandmother. She was also a teacher and she also have many students. She has retired and she has many students, and these students still remember her. And this is just because she has inspired them and she has given the motives to work good, for doing good work, and also motivated them. And thank you.
Excellent. Now moving on, we have the next topic, which is better, innovation versus invention. I repeat, which is better, innovation versus invention? And the topic is for Mindmaster.
Who was your Mindmaster Umair, because the name was not clear.
Sir, it was Mindmaster Anaga.
Anaga, okay.
Can you please repeat the topic?
Okay. The topic for you is, which you think is better, Innovation versus invention.
I think invention is better than innovation, because when invention, if I take invention, then it invention comes from our mind. We think about what we should invent for the world, and we think a lot, and it sharps our mind. So I think invention is better than innovation.
Okay, that was good. Now moving on with the next topic. Do you think that academic scores are not a good measure for intelligence? I repeat, do you think that academic scores are not a good measure of intelligence? And this topic is for Mindmaster Aisha.
Mindmaster Aisha?
Yes, sir. Was it me? Like, I didn't hear the name.
I think it was.
Should I repeat the topic for you?
Yeah, sure.
The topic is, do you think that academic scores are not a good measure of intelligence?
Okay. So the topic given to me is, do you think the academic scores are not a good measure to the intelligence? For a great extent, I think for some students who work hard, I think it is a good measure. But for some students who are good in other activities other than studying, like creative arts like crafting or painting or drawing, some students lack in studies, but they may be good at something else. So for some students it is not a good measure, I think, and for some other students who work hard, it is a good measure. So that's it. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. Now the next topic is, if you were to choose a talent, what kind of talent or skill would you choose? I repeat, if you were to choose a talent, what kind of talent or skill would you choose? And this topic is for Mindmaster.
Mindmaster Umer, the name is not registered. Can you repeat whom you want to speak on this?
Sir, it was Mrunmay.
Yes, sir. Sir, sorry, I cannot on my video because Zoom is unable to detect my camera, so I'll just be speaking.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Mindmaster Umer, can you please repeat the topic once again?
If you wanted to choose a skill or a talent, what would be the skill you would?
Okay. Good evening, Mind Masters and Mind Gurus. So the topic given to me was, if I wanted to choose a talent and skill I wanted in me. So the talent I wanted in me was, I think, the talent of singing, because I do lack a lot in it. I think the singing is a great talent, but not everyone is able to do it. Singing requires a kind of sweet voice and vocal variations and all. And I love to kind of listen to music, and I want to sing too, but I lack at singing a lot because my vocal variations are not so good. So singing is a skill I would like to adapt. Thank you.
Excellent. Now we are moving on. And now we are moving on. The next topic is, is education really educating us? I repeat, is education really educating us? And this topic is for Mindmaster Shamita.
Good evening, respected Mind Gurus and all my dear fellow Mind Masters. Today, the topic given to me is education educating us? According to me, the current education system is educating us for our academics, but not for practical life. Because a practical life should contain all the physical aspects, mental aspects, and a particular student should learn many kind of different activities. So that particular aspect is lagging in our particular education system. For example, in American schools, they teach children how to cook, how to behave with their elders. But compared to that, in Indian schools or British schools, they don't focus on that particular aspect. They focus on studies, on the way to improve their handwriting. Those are important, but not really important for their practical life. Then another example would be in American schools, they bring an aspect of keeping their house clean. But compared to that, in other schools, they don't follow that. So I come to the point that education is educating us, but it should have an other aspect too. So I would like to conclude by saying our education system is lacking some aspects which I would like to implement, and even the government should take steps to do so. Thank you.
Okay, moving on, and the topic is, what is optimism? I repeat, the topic is, what is optimism, and this topic is for Mindmaster Kirtana.
Mindmaster Kirtana, you're, yeah, I think now it's unmuted.
Looks like they got disconnected.
Yeah, kind of.
Mindmaster Kirtana?
Mindmaster Omer, I guess they got disconnected due to
According
internet
me,
issue, I guess.
for optimism means
Yeah, she's back.
being
Yeah.
positive. Is it audible?
Yeah, it's not audible.
Hello.
Yeah, Mindmaster Kirtana, it's audible. You can continue. Yes, please.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Good evening.
The topic given to me is, what is optimism? According to me, optimism is being positive in everything. While doing something, we should be positive. But if there are, even though we are failing in doing something, we should be positive. We should take that in a positive way. Like if we fail when we have some small problems in what we have made, so we can take it like that and be positive that it's because of our mistake. So we should learn from that. We should always be optimistic. Thank you.
Absolutely excellent. Now that concludes for our extempo session. Now I would like to hand the mic to the star of the day.
Next, we are having a knowledge check, and it's done by Bala sir. Bala sir is the co-founder of Mind Academy. He is an instrumentation engineer by profession. He is also interested in sports and in strategic studies. I welcome you, sir.
Thanks a lot, Mindmaster Kirtana and Star of the Day, for that wonderful introduction. Once again, many thanks. So now let us quickly get into our Kahoot devices. So,
I fetch mine.
Ami?
Sir, could I fetch mine just for a minute? I have to go into the
Sure. Take your time.
Sir, I downloaded the app for Kahoot, so can I join from that?
Yeah. Whichever way you're comfortable with. Mind Master Mrinmay has joined. Yeah, Mind Master Aisha have joined. Anaga has joined. So we'll wait for a couple of more minutes so that we are being joined by So Umair has joined. Mind Master Umair, wonderful. So we are yet to be joined by Mind Master Mano. Yeah, Lone Wolf has also joined. So Mind Master Shamita has joined. So we'll wait for a minute or two for Mind Master Krishnendu and Kirtana. Today it's going to be very simple. Today it's going to be only 7 questions. So just try to be more accurate and much faster, because your chance is going to be very what do you say, competitive today, because it's going to be just 7 questions. And Master Krishnendu and Kirtana?
Yes, we are trying to log in. There's
Okay.
some network issue.
Okay. Yes, there you go. Krishnendu and Kirtana have also joined. So let's not waste any further time. Let's get into it. There we go. So it's a true or false question. It takes 21 days to make an act as a habit. True or false? Wonderful. All of you have got it right. Great. So now let's see who stands where in the leaders board. So Mrunmay is leading the board, followed by CEO and then Mind Master Shamita as well. Wonderful. So now let's see what's the second question. Which skills you will be adding by attempting extempore speech? Listening, building knowledge, communication, all the above. Oh, wonderful. Great. But did it make any impact? Now let's see that. There you go. There is slight change in the leaders board. Somebody is going for a...
Umair is targeting for 3 in a row.
Yeah, he's targeting for the hat trick. Now let's see whether he gets in there or somebody stops that run. Let's see. Mrunmay is giving him a tough fight, equally given back by Mind Master Manav and Mind Master Shamita, and also Kirtana and Krishnendu is not far behind. The race is tight, and I'm going to tell you one simple thing now. The questions are going to be far easier. So just timer assignment helps you develop your listening skill. True. Timer assignment, like, you have to listen and then you have to say, because there are certain things when you have to start your time. So wonderful. So 5 of you got it right. Wonderful. Now Mind Master Aisha have come into the top 5 and Mrunmay is leading it up. Great going. Now let's see what happens post the next question. Lead evaluator assignment helps you inspire others. Wonderful.
7.
All of them have got it right. Wonderful. Because as a lead evaluator, your whole and soul chance is there to inspire another individual. So when you get an opportunity to be a lead evaluator, try to inspire others by giving in positive feedback so thereby they can improve up. Wonderful. Great. But was there any change in the leaders board? Let's see. Not much. Not much. Only 3 more questions to see whether there is a hat trick or not. Let's see. Today's workshop was on track relationship. True or false? I think this, I believe, was the fastest answer which I have ever witnessed in a Kahoot session in Mind Guru. But was there any change in the readers board? Let's see. My goodness, the race is very
No
tight.
change.
Like
All are plus.
yeah, it is like, a 100-meter race, running race. Come on, let's see. 2 more questions. Extempore session helps individual to organize thoughts in a quick way. Wonderful. Great. 6 of you have got it right. I believe the 7th one might have been an internet issue or some other technical issue, but I guess you have all understood that extempore session is an area through which you can quickly organize your thoughts. Wonderful. But now, did this question make any impact in the leaders board? Not much. So now, the next question will be the key to see whether we have a hat trick or we have a new champion in our midst. Now let's see. Level 4 in 5 levels to mastery is pass it on. Oh, I think it was a mistake from my end.
Sir, it was a mistake. So
Yeah, it was a mistake from my end. But however, having said that, as all of you have got it on the other side, there's going to be no change in the leaders board. Pardon me for that. But now let's see what happens to the leaders board. Mindmaster Umair, congratulations for securing on the 3rd position. Mindmaster Shamita, congratulations for standing the second place. And congratulations, Mindmaster Mrunmai, for taking on the 1st place today.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to all the Mindmasters. So it was good fun. So the basic idea of this knowledge check is to understand where we are heading up to and what are the areas which we should look into and what is the learning which we should be taking from each segment. It's not about only speech or it's not only about certain other angles. Even if you have a timer's role, what is that we are going to take back as a lesson? So we have to look into all those individual aspects of our learning point. So with that note, I thank the Star of the Day for giving me an opportunity to take you all through that quick knowledge check portion. Thank you, and back to you, Star of the Day, Mindmaster Kirtana, for doing a great session so far. Wonderful. Back to you.
Thank you, sir. Next is the evaluation. I call upon our lead evaluator, Mindmaster Anagha, onto the stage.
Thank you, Mindmaster Kirtana. So, the speaker 1 was Manav Philip, and you were very well speaked, and you shared your story that was a very well quality, and you speak for 1 minute 17 seconds. That was a good timing. Now, speaker number 2 is Mind Master Krishnendu. So, you were also very well speaked and you shared your own story as well. That was also very brilliant, and you speak for 1 minute 30 seconds. Now, next I call up Bala uncle for evaluating my speech.
Wonderful, Mind Master Anaga. Like, this is a great attribute of a leader. Like, wonderful, Mind Master Anaga. It's really great learning for me. Like, how old are you, if I may ask you so, Mind Master Anaga?
I'm 12 years old.
You're 12, I'm 34. But like, you have inspired and senior fellow more who's more elder to you. Great. It speaks volumes about your leadership. She had the opportunity to evaluate herself. Is there anyone in this block is going to challenge her? Anyone? None of us, right? But she invited another person to evaluate her. That speaks volumes about your leadership. Wonderful, Mind Master.
Thank you, sir.
Now, coming back to your speech, your topic was invention or innovation. You went in ahead with the invention aspect of the process. You had two options to pick one amongst the two. So I would recommend, like, you started, like, they say, I think you might have remembered the extempore speech workshop session by Murli uncle, right, Anaga?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you remember that, like, it's always good to start with a quote or a phrase. If you don't remember, at least good, like, you start with a very positive note. And when you were talking about invention. If you had added a bit or more, why you were trying to convince about invention and not innovation, would have been even better. Like, you went with certain points, but it was a shorter speech. You could have still elaborated it further to make it a more detailed way, so thereby we understand and accept basically your point of view, why invention has more value than innovation. The points were good, but it was short. So you had time in your perspective. So if you had slightly elaborated it further, it would have been even better. So thank you once again. Great gesture. Back to you, Mind Master Anaga.
Thank you, sir. So speaker 4 was Aisha, and you speak for 40 seconds, and you speak very well, but your negatives was you could have taken more time. And yeah, that was your negatives and positives. Now, speaker 5 was Murunmai, and you shared your story and you speak very well, and you speak for 45 seconds. So you could have also taken a more time and and spoke. So speaker 6 was Mind Master Shamita. You spoke for 1 minute and 42 seconds. You also shared your concept about the topic given to you. That was very brilliant. And yeah, so that was the positives. And speaker 7 was Mind Master Kirtana. You speak for 53 seconds, and you also shared your concept about the topic, and you could have your negatives where you could have also spoken for a little more time. So thank you.
Next up, we have our Mind Guru CEO, Mind Master Mana Philip, who is going to be giving the closing remarks. He is a voracious reader and a certified ethical hacker.
Okay, I have gotten a message that, like, he is.
I think he's.
Yeah, he has dropped off from here. So I guess he's just requested to. He has requested me to just say the closing remarks on his behalf. So I take the honor and privilege of representing the CEO of the Mind Guru team. So before we move in, so how was today's session? It was really fascinating to see the way Mind Master Kirtana anchored the whole session. Wonderful task, Mind Master Kirtana. I think you're doing it for the first time, and you did it with style, being the first time. So how was today's session? So let us have the views of all the Mind Masters in here. And to start with, I would request all the Mind Masters to share what is that one element or what is that one value which they added to their whole process in today's evening. So let me start with the first person in my block, Mind Master Shamita. So you were part of the process for almost 2 hours. What is that one element which you learned in the process for the day, Mind Master Shamita?
Sir, I can't say it as one element because I learned many aspects which I should have learned it before. So I got I got a better opportunity to learn many aspects. So
Wonderful.
one element would be how to handle the relationship in a positive way, like without having fights, and what are the key words of relationships, like trust, like that.
Wonderful. Great, Mind Master Shamita. So that adds a lot of new thoughts into our mind, right? Like, generally we try to get into a shell, like, trying to get away. So, and this brings in a new dynamics to the whole thought process. Great point, Mind Master Shamita. Looking forward to your future speeches as well. All the very best. So now let me listen from Mind Master Mrinmai.
Yes, sir. So in today's session, I also learned about handling relationships and all those things we learned in workshop today. And another thing I learned was, the message I got from all the speakers today who gave their speeches. Actually, before my speech, I was very nervous, but listening to their speeches kind of diverted my mind from it, and the speech attracted me, and I carefully listened to each of the message they wanted to convey through their speeches.
Wonderful. So that's a great lesson for all of us, right? When you are going through kind of a stress process, it's always good to have a small and a focused distraction to bring back your focus where you are intending to bring it back. Wonderful, Mind Master Mrinmai. Thank you for bringing it up in the table. Thank you once again. Pleasure. So Mind Master Aisha, thanks for conducting a well-anchored speech session, first of all. So what was your key learning for the evening? Over to you, Mind Master Aisha.
Yes, so as my exams are over and I have 1 week time free, planning to do some things for next grade, 9th. So this is my first time being a speech conductor. It was very nice experience, and all the speakers, they spoke well, very well, and I learned the key learning was the different priorities in different relationships. The workshop was very nice. I learned many things. And the last quote, 3 quotes were superb. I liked it so much. So, yeah.
Even the last one, even that was my favorite as well, Mind Master Aisha. Yeah, great. Likewise thoughts. Great. Thank you. Thank you. See you. So, Mind Master Umair, what was a great learning for you if I have to ask you for the evening, Mind Master Umair?
Sir, I learned many aspects, but the great learning for me was on the workshop relationship.
Great, Mind Master Umair. Thank you.
About the way we treat our friends, and then the feeling.
Wonderful, wonderful, Mind Master Umair. And it was really great to see such an very insightful topics which you have brought in today's extempore session. That was a very well conducted extempore session, Mind Master Umair. Thank you for doing that. Great. So now let us move on to our admin manager, Mind Master Anaga. So what
Yes,
is
sir.
that is your key learning for the evening?
My key learning was from the workshop. My key learning was you should treat others the way you wanted to be treated.
Wonderful, wonderful. Great message taking back home. Wonderful, Mind Master Anaga. Thank you. Before I get back to the start of the day, let me go to Mind Master Krishnendu to ask and listen what was her take back message from the evening. Mind Master Krishnendu first.
Yes, sir. My key learning was everything. Like, first of all, I want to talk about the relationship one, and I really love the priorities of our relationship. That was really helpful. Then I also liked the speeches. Each one of them were very interesting, and I really love the listening part because I've never seen it like a skill. Now I realize it's a skill. And health was also very good. Both of them did it their way and very informative, and the rest of them. And also the external session was really good. I was hoping to get one speech, and today I got it.
Wonderful, Mind Master Krishna. It was indeed a pleasure even listening to your speech, well crafted one. And as you rightly said, the beauty about this forum is like, to understand different aspects of life, different ways of how to look at it, and learn from it at the end of the day. Wonderful. It was a pleasure listening to you about planning, and looking forward to listen another aspect in planning from you going forward. Now, let me get back to the star of the day, who conducted the session in a very precise way, Mind Master Kirtana. Yes, Mind Master Kirtana, what was your key learning?
To my sister, she had all the introductions. That's what helped me.
Wonderful. So see, having the introduction was one part of it, but you were very meticulous in making that happen. That was a very action-oriented, leader in you, which was bringing it to the table. Having one thing, I may have plenty of things in my hand. I have the whole Google in front of me, but that is not the aspect of it. The way you brought into the table in action, that spoke volume about you. Great session, Mind Master Kirtana. So, pleasure. So, Murali Krishnan sir, your thoughts and reflections about today's evening, sir.
Good evening, Mind Masters, and good evening, Bala.
Good evening, sir.
Thanks for the opportunity. Congratulations to all of you. Knowingly or unknowingly, you are all moving in the ladder upwards in terms of communication as well as leadership. Because the roles that you have taken today, as Balangal rightly pointed out, it's not whether you have the message there or the text there or not. It's about how beautifully you utilize those messages. You remember last time I said, information is everywhere. And our aim is to convert those informations first into knowledge and then to wisdom. And you're all able to translate those information, whether it's available with your sister or in the Google or wherever it is. You have been able to translate those into knowledge because you did that today. The more and more you do those things, it becomes a wisdom, and that's when you become the expert. And that's when you reach the mastery level. So I'm so happy that you are all in that transformation process, and happy to also see all of you taking different tracks. If everybody has taken health, it is not, it will be like monotonous. You have come forward taking different tracks and different modules like listening skills, health, various aspects, and that will have a multi-dimensional learning process. Because when you are doing, my request to all of you is also that when you are going through that process of any track, take it in consideration that it is your responsibility to educate others as well. Okay, that is why we have this last level 5 pass it on. So whenever you are coming and giving a speech here, not exactly after completing level 5, even in level 2, level 1, level 2, what you're doing is passing on your information. So try to be the part of the knowledge process. When we say knowledge process, get information from here and there, like it could be Google, it could be internet, it could be your parents, friends, relatives, gurus, mentors, whoever you want. Take information from them, try it for yourself. If you're taking physical activity, at least do some activity on a daily basis and see what kind of difference that it brings to you. Come here and share that experience, what it made, how it translated you, how it transformed you, what kind of change that you went through. Because at the end, when you see 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, what matters is not the number of speeches that you give. Of course, we can use speeches, and that makes you a communicator. I'm not telling that. But what matters, if you want to really have a transformation process to happen, then how far you were involved in the process. You see the difference? You can get information and give a speech, but that remains at information level. But if you can take the input, do it for yourself, experience it, come here and share, then you are transforming yourself, and at the same time, you are becoming a communicator. And that is when information becomes knowledge, and then you do it repeatedly again and again, it becomes a habit. And when it becomes a habit, it translates into wisdom. And that is what we expect from all of you. That's why we have a dimensional approach of this transformation process. So my only request to all of you to immerse yourself in the process. It's giving a speech is something fine, but more than speech, I request all of you to go into it, dwell deep into it, and see whether you are able to extract some value out of it, out of the whole process. Not only the speech. Yes, speech is important. Speech is important to transform your experience to others. But how far you got benefited out of it, that depends on how well you have been into that process. But all said and done, congratulations to all of you to going through the process. I hope most of you have completed level 1, right? Is there anyone who has not completed level 1? Like the speech? I think all of you have done, correct? So now it's time to go to, congratulations for that, first of all. So now it's time to go to level 2. Level 2 is, what is level 2?
Finding
my way.
So that is where your uniqueness comes into role. Find your way in the track you have selected. So wish you all the very best. Congratulations to all the assignees that have taken excellent topics. The start of the day did the role excellently well. Couple of comments which we can add is like, in evaluation, I think we can have the entire evaluation part during the evaluation in the lead evaluator's portion. So it becomes an evaluation session. That's point number 1. Point number 2, as far as possible, the Mindmaster Manavi aptly asked a question, how about our online friends? So now, see, we are all in online mode. If possible, if your internet is okay, if you're comfortable, please try to keep your audio and video unmuted. Because we already have a handicapness in terms of seeing each other and discussing, because when somebody is speaking, it's always good to look at people and speak. So try to respect that. It's not mandatory, but see, in some of you may have internet issues, different issues. Maybe there will be some guests at home. Those things we can understand. But as far as possible, try to do that so that, the people sitting on the other side will be more inspired to look at you and speak to you. So that is one thing which I just wanted to add. I told you already about evaluation. Other than that, it was indeed a great learning opportunity for me as well. Wish you all the very best. Back to you, Bala.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for those inspiring comments about the session. So I guess the message from Murli sir was like, take back those learnings. It's not about giving a speech, or it's not about attempting, or it's not about taking the podium on an small internal fun segment. That's not what the message is. Here in Mind Guru, the objective is to have a holistic transformation across different important facets of life. And are we taking back home certain messages, certain learnings? That taking back message is just an information. Are we trying to make it into a knowledge and a wisdom going forward? Ask these questions to yourself as you proceed further towards your further levels in the 5 levels to mastery and across different tracks as well. Once you start doing that, then you are in the verge of becoming a Guru Ratna sooner. I guess you all remember the word Guru Ratna, right? What is Guru Ratna? How many of you remember that? Maybe I should put that question in the knowledge check next time. What is Guru? Who's a Guru Ratna? Any ideas?
Mindmaster Umer definitely will know. I know that.
So anyone do remember who's a Guru Ratna? Anyone?
So the final award, right? Whichever person.
Wonderful, Mind Master Shamita. And Mind Master who progresses in certain tracks and also who takes up certain responsibilities. After completing a certain set of projects, eventually he will be identified as a Guru Ratna. Wonderful, Mind Master Shamita. But again, the message is not about being there or not. The point is, once you reach to that level of mastery in certain tracks, you will have a transformation visible within yourself. That is what the objective is. It's not about taking back certain awards or something like that, but are we taking back the values based on it? Wonderful. That was the bottom line about the message. And it was a pleasure and honor to give this closing remarks on behalf of the CEO of Mind Guru team. It was my pleasure. So with that note, we can call off today's meeting. Yes, Mind Master Umair.
Sir, how is the star of the day selected or chosen?
The star of the day and the proceedings are chosen by, there's a team who picks it up. If you are interested to be the next star of the day, then you can nominate yourself. Still, the floor is open. You want to nominate yourself?
Of course, sir.
There you go.
Great.
So, Mind Master Shamita and Mind Master Aisha, you can very well make a note of it. Who has self-volunteered? Wonderful, Mind Master Umair. Great going. So, any further points or any points? Mind Master? Yes, sir.
And do we have the list of series for the next meeting, director training?
Sir, I'll get it soon, sir. Sir, who are the speakers for the upcoming meeting?
Maybe we can just quickly check in as all of us are here.
Yeah.
Who wants to go next and give a speech?
Star of the day, I think Mind Master Umair is looking forward for.
Yeah, star of the day is Mind Master Umair.
Great. Do we have anyone else, Mind Master Shamita, already booked or something like that?